Can you use a cheap vacuum pump when you're vacuum degassing? We're going to find out. This is the setup I have right now. I have two 5-gallon vacuum chambers. I got these off of cheap kits off of Amazon. Well, this one's even a Vevor right here. I have a vacuum pump over there. It's Robin Air. It's expensive. It's about $175. And then I have a manifold that I can do 4 different vacuum chambers with. And the first thing I'm going to do is going to show you the Vevor pump and kit that I have. It comes with the pump and oil and the vacuum chamber. It's a 3-gallon vacuum chamber with all the parts and stuff to go with it. So we're going to check it out on this table over here. Here's what comes in the box for the vacuum chamber. You get the pot itself, and this seal goes around the top of that pot. This is just a little silicone mat that sits at the bottom over there if you want to use it. Here's your manifold that has your gauge in it and your valves, and we'll go over that stuff in a second. Silencer here. This is the lid, and it already has the rubber on it. And here's your hose that's going to go to that manifold or to right directly to a pump and go to here. Let's look at the pump. Here's the pump right here. It's not shipped with the oil in it. It is shipped with this oil in the box, so you have to put that in there. We'll do that in a second. This is a 3.5 CFM pump, and it is a 5th horsepower. So first thing we're going to do, just so we don't forget, is put this oil in here. We're going to do it slowly. I cannot stress how important this is. I've had pumps that were shipped with oil in it, and I've had them without it. No matter what, go ahead and check the sight glass in there and make sure you have a line like that right there before you start plugging this thing in and turning it on. It's very, very important. They give you enough oil to go right in the middle. Now, once we turn that on, it might change a little bit, but I'll keep my eye on that. First thing on this is, here's the chamber, the little rubber thingy that goes, silicone, whatever this is. It's going to help it seal. We just put it on there, and there shouldn't be too much trouble. Boom, that part's done. You do get this owner's manual thing. It says tough tools, half price, and it's about right. So these instructions, one of the first things it says is to put this manifold in here. It doesn't say anything about putting anything on here, but I just know from building these things, and I have a ton of them, is you need to put a washer. You need to put a washer on there, and you need to put a rubber washer. You need the rubber washer to seal on this side and on this side in order for it to seal, because we're gonna be pulling air out of this thing. It needs to be airtight. So this is gonna go in here. I don't know how well you can see this, but that's not threaded all the way up, and there's quite a bit of room right there where it's just solid pipe. So we want to put another washer, rubber washer on here, because we want it to seal again. And they made this part clear in the directions, but they didn't make the top part clear on this side. So now you can still see that the threads don't go all the way to the top. So we're going to put a washer. And I can still see, I don't know if you can see it, but I can still see that if we put this nut on here right now, it's going to bottom out on those threads, and it's not going to tighten up all the way. So I'm going to go ahead and put another washer on here, and then put this nut on there, and that way it'll tighten down all the way. And we don't need to Hercules tight this. We just need to get those rubber washers to squeeze a little bit. And they send us a handy dandy wrench to go with it. That's snug and not super tight. This isn't going to move around, and that's tight. Yeah, I'm almost guaranteed that's not going to leak. So this part is finished, and now all we got left is to hook this into here and into our pump. So let's go do that. A common mistake people make is they try to put Teflon tape on these fittings right here. These are tapered fittings. They're going to fit together like a puzzle. There's not going to be any leaks, so no tape on these. The first test we're going to do is see how fast an empty pot goes to full vacuum with the old expensive pump. And here we go. This is remote to the pump, and we'll hit them at the same time. This is probably a good time to note that gauge goes to 30. Perfect vacuum at sea level is going to be 29. And for every 1,000 foot of elevation you're going to lose one number on this gauge. I think that's about all we're going to get. We usually get about 26 or so here in Amarillo, Texas at 3,500 feet altitude. So that's about what we're going to get. And now I'm going to mix up some silicone and we'll see how long it takes to degas something. Now we're going to run this until these bubbles are no longer. So let's start the timer and go at the same time. Go. This is my favorite part of the whole process. Watching these bubbles come up and pop like that is super cool. I use platinum base 25 silicone from ALUMILITE. I'll have a link and coupon code for you down below. There's very, very minimal bubbles coming out here right now, so we're going to call it 4 minutes, 3:56 if you're a technical kind of person. And go ahead and let the air back in here very slowly, or else we're going to blow the silicone everywhere. We don't want to do that. Now the next question is, why would you want to degas silicone in the first place? These molds that I make, people are going to cast resin into them and then they're going into a pressure pot. When you put it in the pressure pot, it's going to collapse bubbles. And if there's bubbles in the silicone, it's going to deform the molds. Degassing is important. We're going to take the old pump out by just unplugging it from power, disconnecting the vacuum line, and we're going to plug this other one up to our remote and connect the vacuum line back up, and we're in business. I can't wait to see how good this thing is. Same test as the first time, empty pot. We're going to see how long it takes to get to full vacuum, so ready, go. The silicone I use has a 35-minute working time, so even if these weren't exactly the same, if it was a little bit longer, it kind of doesn't matter as long as it gets the bubbles out. Just about the same as the other one. The other one is a little bit more horsepower. This one has more CFM, so they're pretty close, and they're almost exactly the same as doing this. So let's get some silicone in there. Here we go again. Let's go until this thing runs out of bubbles. While you're watching these awesome bubbles, I'd like to tell you that we do make silicone resin casting. We have a live show. If you're into that kind of stuff, I like comparing products like this all the time. If you're into that, come and see us, hit that subscribe button, and let's have some fun together. I think that's about it. And the time is 3:44. We'll go ahead and let this stuff out slowly again, and we'll pour this. There's probably more scientific ways to figure out if this is better or worse or whatever, but in my eyes, they're very, very comparable. And if you wanted to get into degassing silicone or resin or things like that, this cheap set right here costs less than that one pump does. And then the next question is, how long do you think it's going to last? Well, what you're going to expect me to say is that, I don't know, because I just got this. But that's not the answer. The answer is, I got this one years ago with this kit, and I've done videos on it, video after video after video. This thing works, and I still get asked, will a cheap pump work? Now the answer is going to be, it will definitely work. So all this stuff will be down in the description below. Come back and see us, and we'll see you next time.